War in Afghanistan, 1978 to 2018, Rise and Fall of Communism. Prelude. From 1933 to 1973, Afghanistan experienced a lengthy period of peace and relative stability. It was ruled as a monarchy by King Zahir Shah, who belonged to the Afghan Muzabban Barakzai dynasty. In the 1960s, Afghanistan as a constitutional monarchy held limited parliamentary elections. Zahir Shah, who would become the last king of Afghanistan, was overthrown by his cousin Muhammad Daoud Khan in July 1973, after discontent with the monarchy grew in the urban areas of Afghanistan. The country had gone through several droughts, and charges of corruption and poor economic policies were leveled against the ruling dynasty. Khan transformed the monarchy into a republic, and he became the first president of Afghanistan. He was supported by a faction of the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan, PDPA, Afghanistan's Communist Party, which had been founded in 1965 and enjoyed strong relations with the Soviet Union. Nematullah Najumi writes in The Rise of the Taliban in Afghanistan, Mass Mobilization, Civil War, and the Future of the Region. The establishment of the Republic of Afghanistan increased the Soviet investment in Afghanistan and the PDPA influence in the government's military and civil bodies. In 1976, alarmed by the growing power of the PDPA and the party's strong affiliation with the Soviet Union, Daoud Khan tried to scale back the PDPA's influence. He dismissed PDPA members from their government posts, appointed conservative elements instead, and finally announced the dissolution of the PDPA, arresting senior party members. Communist coup. On April 27, 1978, the PDPA and military units loyal to the PDPA killed Daoud Khan, his immediate family and bodyguards in a violent coup, seizing control of the capital, Kabul. As the PDPA had chosen a weekend holiday to conduct the coup, when many government employees were having a day off, Daoud Khan was not able to fully activate the well-trained armed forces which remained loyal to him to counter the coup. The new PDPA government, led by a revolutionary council, did not enjoy the support of the masses. Therefore, it soon announced and implemented a hostile doctrine against any political dissent, whether inside or outside the party. The first communist leader in Afghanistan, Nur Muhammad Taraki, was assassinated by his fellow communist Hafizullah Amin. Amin was known for his independent and nationalist inclinations, and was also seen by many as a ruthless leader. He has been accused of killing tens of thousands of Afghan civilians at Policharki and other national prisons. 27,000 politically motivated executions reportedly took place at Policharki prison alone. Soviet intervention and withdrawal. The Soviet Union intervened in Afghanistan on December 24, 1979. Amin was deposed from power almost immediately, as he and 200 of his guards were killed on December 27 by Soviet Army Spetsnaz, replaced by Babrak Karmal. After deployment into Afghanistan, Soviet forces along with government forces would begin to engage in a protracted counterinsurgency war with Mujahideen fighters. Some of those Islamic fighters would later transform into the Taliban, according to Professor Carol Hillenbrand, who stated, "The West helped the Taliban to fight the Soviet takeover of Afghanistan." The Soviet government realized that a military solution to the conflict would require far more troops. Because of this, they discussed troop withdrawals and searched for a political and peaceful solution as early as 1980, but they never took any serious steps in that direction until 1988. Early Soviet military reports confirm the difficulties the Soviet army had while fighting on the mountainous terrain, for which the Soviet army had no training whatsoever. Parallels with the Vietnam War were frequently referred to by Soviet army officers. Policy failures, and the stalemate that ensued after the Soviet intervention, led the Soviet leadership to become highly critical of Karmal's leadership. Under Mikhail Gorbachev, the Soviet Union was able to depose Karmal and replace him with Muhammad Najibullah. Karmal's leadership was seen as a failure by the Soviet Union because of the rise of violence and crime during his administration. Throughout the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan, troop convoys came under attack by Afghan rebel fighters. In all, 523 Soviet soldiers were killed during the withdrawal. The total withdrawal of all Soviet troops from Afghanistan was completed in February 1989. The last Soviet soldier to leave was Lieutenant General Boris Gromov, leader of the Soviet military operations in Afghanistan at the time of the Soviet invasion. In total 14,453 Soviet soldiers died during the Afghan War. The Soviet war had a damaging impact on Afghanistan. Soviet forces and their proxies committed a genocide against the Afghan people and killed up to 2 million Afghans. 5 to 10 million Afghans fled to Pakistan and Iran, which was one-third of the pre-war population of the country, and another 2 million were displaced within the country. Pakistan's Northwest Frontier Province functioned as an organizational and networking base for the anti-Soviet Afghan resistance, with the province's influential Deobandi ulama playing a major supporting role in promoting the jihad. Fall of communism. After the Soviet withdrawal, the Republic of Afghanistan under Najibullah continued to face resistance from the various Mujahideen forces. Najibullah received funding and arms from the Soviet Union until 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed. For several years the Afghan army had actually increased their effectiveness past levels ever achieved during the Soviet military presence. But the government was dealt a major blow when Abdul Rashid Dostum, a leading general, created an alliance with the Shura-e-Nizar of Ahmad Shah Massoud. Large parts of the Afghan communist government capitulated to the forces of Massoud in early 1992. After the Soviet defeat, the Wall Street Journal named Massoud the Afghan who won the Cold War. He had defeated the Soviet forces 9 times in his home region of the Panjshir Valley in northeastern Afghanistan. Pakistan tried to install Gulbuddin Hekmatyar in power in Afghanistan against the opposition of all other Mujahideen commanders and factions. As early as October 1990, the Inter-Services Intelligence had devised a plan for Hekmatyar to conduct a mass bombardment of the Afghan capital Kabul with possible Pakistani troop enforcements. This unilateral IC Hekmatyar plan came although the 30 most important Mujahideen commanders had agreed on holding a conference inclusive of all Afghan groups to decide on a common future strategy. Peter Thompson reports that the protest by the other Mujahideen commanders was like a firestorm. Ahmad Zia Massoud, the brother of Ahmad Shah Massoud, said that his faction strongly opposed the plan and like other factions would take measures if any Pakistani troops reinforced Hekmatyar. Abdul was reportedly so angry about the IC plan that he was red in the face. And Nabi Muhammad, another commander, pointed out that Kabul's 2 million could not escape Hekmatyar's rocket bombardment, there would be a massacre. Massoud's, Abdul and Amin Warduk's representatives said that Hekmatyar's rocketing of Kabul would produce a civilian bloodbath. The United States finally put pressure on Pakistan to stop the 1990 plan, which was subsequently called off until 1992.